What's up YouTube, and welcome back to the channel, The Last Daddy. Checking in. Today I'm going to be giving you my exact workout plan, the exact exercises that I did to get in the best shape of my life, which was for my wedding. If you've been following my channel, you know that I had 3 months ago, March, April, May, June, July, March, April, May, June, July, August. Almost 5 months ago. Oh my God, the wedding was almost 5 months ago. I didn't realize it was that long ago. Far out. Well, 5 months ago, I had the best day of my life. It was the most magical, special day. And to get ready for the special day, I wanted to get in the best shape of my life. And I believe I truly achieved that. First thing I made sure when I created my workout split that I stuck to for about 3 to 4 months for the frequency. So this workout split was a 4-day on, 1 day off, repeat. So this frequency allows me to hit each muscle group just a little bit more than once a week. Now that leads me to my second reasoning why I chose this workout split of a 4 days on, 1 day off, repeat is enjoyability. It made me motivated to go to the gym. It was easy to sustain this workout and keep consistent for 3 to 4 months. If you're gonna choose a workout or do exercises that you're just doing because you saw some YouTuber or some Instagrammer doing it and you're like, well, they look like that, they got those results, so I better do that, and you don't enjoy it, you are not gonna be consistent with it, and you're gonna just, most likely you're gonna fall off. It is better to do something that you enjoy and you can be consistent, because that's how you get true results. When you have consistent hard work, the combination of those two things is what's going to get you results. I don't care if you train twice a week. If you're killing it twice a week, do that. I don't care if you're focusing on, other types of exercise such as running, dancing, gymnastics, rowing. Whatever it is, make it consistent. So this is why I chose this particular split, because I get to hit the muscle group a little bit more than once a week. So I am getting that bit of frequency, which is what the science says we should do when it comes to hypertrophy goals, but for enjoyment as well. Day one is a chest and back movement. These two muscle groups are agonist and antagonist muscle groups. That means that when an agonist muscle is when one muscle is working, and the antagonist muscle is the opposite muscle group that's relaxing. So when we are doing a pushing movement, like bench press, flies, anything for the chest, my back muscles are the antagonist muscles because they're not working, they're relaxing. Yes, they might be stabilizing some of my movements, but they're not working, they're not getting taxed, they're not getting fatigued. The benefit of doing a superset is that you can get more volume in a short amount of time. Doing my chest and back separately, it would take me a bit more time, and when I'm got work, I've got other priorities, I don't want to be in the gym for too long. I would superset an incline chest press with a T-bar row. I would then superset a push-up, a deficit push-up with a lat pull down, and then I would finish off with a fly movement with a upper trap row. I would hit one exercise first, I would rest a minute, and then hit the other muscle group, my back exercise, my pulling motion, rest a minute and repeat. The reason why I did it like this is because the benefit of supersetting agonist and antagonist muscles is that when you're hitting chest, your back isn't working as hard. So that means that after I finish chest, I don't need to wait a long period of time because my back was already resting while hitting my chest exercise. And same thing, when I'm doing my back movement, I was able to hit that, and as I'm doing that, my chest is resting. Second day was a leg day. I would always start off with some sort of squat movement. My goal is hypertrophy. I want the limiting factor is my quads to fatigue. I don't want to get fatigued by holding this weight on my shoulders and getting fatigued by just maintaining my posture with the bar on my shoulders. So this is a great exercise to choose if you are really just trying to focus on taxing and fatiguing your quads. For this exercise, I was aiming for 4 sets, and over the 3 months, building up the rep ranges, typically aiming between 8 and 15, gradually building that each week. Second exercise was another quad exercise. So I'm doing my quad exercises back to back. I'm focusing on my quads. And I made sure to push the chair all the way back. And the reason why we do this is because that is putting more tension on the muscle in the lengthened position, as we know that is really important when it comes to hypertrophy training. Then my quad exercise is done. Some people might think, wow, that's not a lot of quad exercises done for a leg workout. I truly believe when you start to build a strong foundation, you can push more intensely. When you can get more intensity in the sense of how hard each working set is, you do not need as much volume, you do not need as much sets compared to when you first started. Because when you first started, you haven't built your foundation, the conditioning in your tendons, your muscles, to be able to push very hard and add weight as much as you can after several years of training. So when you first start, you're probably gonna focus a little bit more volume. You might not do as many hard sets. You might not do as many heavy sets. So to compromise, you are gonna do more volume to make up for the lack of intensity. But as the intensity increases, the volume can drop off. My next 2 exercises is gonna be 2 hamstring exercises. We're doing a hamstring curl, and then we're doing a hip thrust. Third working day was a pure shoulder day. Now, shoulders, I would consider probably a weak part for me. So this is why I allocated a day to focus on shoulders. Now, a lot of people may say, well, if you really want to allocate a weak muscle, it's more beneficial to hit that muscle group more frequently throughout the week as opposed to allocating just a single day to hit that muscle group. And this may be true, but this again comes back to my second reason of doing this workout split is enjoyment. I enjoyed doing a day of shoulders. I felt like I really got a good pump. I was really able to push myself, and I feel like it's helped me to make progress. Could I make more progress doing it the other way that I just explained? Yeah, maybe, but I'm gonna do it the way that I enjoy, and I'm still getting that frequency of my shoulders in, because doing the 4 days off, 4 days on, 1 day off, I'm getting to hit my shoulders more than once a week. And we know, again, that's gonna help. That little bit of frequency is gonna help me build muscle. So I always started off with a shoulder press. Now, I really like a shoulder press machine. Benefits of doing a machine is that you don't have to worry about stabilizing yourself as much, which makes it a little bit more easier just to drive and push myself, especially when I'm starting to fatigue. I moved over to a dumbbell side raise. Side raises, whatever variation you're gonna do, is very important because that's gonna really target the medial delt of the head, which is the middle portion of the delt. We have 3 heads, the anterior, the medial, and the rear head. Most people have very developed front anterior delts because when we're doing our pressing movements, our chest exercises, those that anterior part of the shoulder is going to get a lot of volume. It's going to get a lot of work in. So the medial and rear delts can sometimes be overpowered by this anterior delt. So it's really important we do some sort of side raise. Third exercise then involved a face pull. So face pulls are great for all those posterior muscles, including our rear delts. As I mentioned, the rear delts can be a muscle group that can be very much neglected. The last shoulder exercise I would finish off with called a Y cable raise. I found this is a great exercise to target both your medial and your rear delts. I found this exercise was almost, I'm killing 2 birds with 1 stone. I can get a little bit more side delt and a little bit more rear delt in the one exercise. If you haven't tried it, give it a go. Go light with the weight, focus on a full stretch at the bottom, and then bring it all the way up and focus on that squeeze as we raise our hands up to the top. The fourth and final workout for my split was a arm day. Arm day is a fun day. We're doing the same thing, very similar to my chest and back day. I am doing a agonist-antagonist approach, supersetting. I would start off with a tricep exercise, a tricep push down, and I will superset that with a bicep curl. They are all my 4 days of training, and each day, if I could, maybe not every day, but I tried each day to aim to do zone 2 cardio. And I always did this at the end of my workout. If your goal is hypertrophy, you don't want to be doing cardio beforehand because that's going to impact your performance when you go do your weights. And if that's your priority, we don't want our priority to be impacted. Make sure if you want to focus on muscle growth, cardio at the end of your workout. The type of cardio is important depending on what your goal is. If you want to optimize hypertrophy, that's what my goal was for the wedding, slow, steady state cardio, aiming for zone 2, which is about 60-70% of your max heart rate. That's how high you want to get your heart rate up to. Now, typically either at the end of my shoulder workout or arm workout, or even on my day off as a rest, I would come and do some abdominal training. Abdominal training doesn't involve a lot of stress and strain, so it can almost act as a bit of active recovery. So you can do abdominal training if on your rest days. I always found that if on my rest days, if I felt really sore, really fatigued, I wouldn't do abdominal training. I would just take it as a rest, or I would go do some walking, because walking, my steady state cardio, the evidence shows that's a great way to help with recovery, to get some blood flow to the muscles and some light movement. But days where I felt like I wasn't too sore and I felt like I had energy, I would go and do some abdominal training on my rest days. Remember, just because this workout split worked for me, some things may not work for you. You're gonna have to trial, experiment, see what works best for you. If you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to click that subscribe button, and I'll see you guys for the next video, the last natty checking out. See you guys.